You may have seen headlines, social media posts, or forwarded messages about big changes to birthright citizenship in the United States. Some of these stories are confusing, some alarming, and some completely misleading. Today, we're going to cut through the noise and explain exactly what is happening, what it means for families, and the practical steps you can take. If you're an immigrant living in the U.S., planning a family, or following immigration news from abroad, this update could affect you. Stay with me because understanding the facts could protect your family's future. This week, there has been a major announcement from the federal government about birthright citizenship, the principle that children born in the United States automatically receive U.S. citizenship. The discussion has been long-running, but now there are concrete policy updates that could have serious consequences. To understand this, we first need to step back and explain how birthright citizenship works under the current law. The U.S. Constitution, under the 14th Amendment, states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. For decades, this has meant that if a child is born on U.S. soil, that child automatically becomes a U.S. citizen, regardless of their parents' immigration status. For many immigrant families, this principle has provided legal certainty and stability. However, recent statements from government officials and court filings indicate that there could be significant reinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. This week, the administration released guidance suggesting that the government may limit automatic citizenship for certain categories of children, particularly those born to parents who are in the country illegally or under temporary visas. While no law has yet changed, the announcement signals a major shift in policy and potential future legal challenges. Let's break down the real-world implications. Imagine a family, like the Martinez family from Los Angeles. They have a toddler born in the U.S., and both parents are in the country on temporary work visas. Under the current law, their child is a U.S. citizen. But if new interpretations of the 14th Amendment take effect, there could be delays in issuing citizenship documents, and in some cases, children might not automatically receive citizenship. This is why families are concerned and why it's crucial to understand your rights. It's also important to note that the government has emphasized that any changes would not affect children already born. The potential changes would apply to future births. So, if you already have children born in the U.S., their citizenship is safe, but families planning to have children in the U.S. need to be aware of the possible consequences and stay updated on policy developments. One immediate effect we could see is increased processing time for birth certificates and social security numbers for children born to non-citizen parents. Hospitals and local registrars may require additional verification, and federal agencies could request documentation proving parental status. For example, consider Aisha, an immigrant from Nigeria, who gave birth in Houston. If these changes are implemented, she might experience delays in getting her newborn citizenship papers and social security card, which are essential for healthcare, school enrollment, and other government services. Another important factor is international travel and passports. Currently, U.S.-born children can easily obtain a U.S. passport. If birthright citizenship is restricted, parents may face additional scrutiny when applying for passports or visas, especially if there is any ambiguity about the child's citizenship status. This could impact families who travel internationally for work, education, or family visits. Now, let's clarify what is not happening. Despite sensational headlines, there is no immediate law removing birthright citizenship. No children currently holding U.S. citizenship will lose it. The change, if enacted, would likely be through legislation or judicial reinterpretation in the future. This is an ongoing legal process, and debates in Congress, as well as potential court cases, will determine the outcome. So, what can immigrant families do right now? First, ensure that all birth records are accurate and safely stored. Keep your child's birth certificate, hospital records, and any government documentation in a secure location. These documents are critical for proving citizenship status in the future. Second, consider consulting an immigration attorney. Even though no law has changed yet, professional guidance can help you understand how potential policy shifts might affect your family and what proactive steps you can take. For instance, attorneys can help you understand eligibility for passports, Social Security, and other benefits. Third, stay informed by following official government announcements. The Department of Homeland Security, USCIS, and the Department of State are the authoritative sources. Avoid relying solely on social media or forwarded messages, which often exaggerate or misrepresent policy changes. Being informed allows you to act quickly and confidently. Let's also discuss some realistic scenarios for families planning future births. If policy changes limit automatic citizenship, parents may need to apply for special status for their children, submit documentation proving lawful presence, or follow new procedures established by the federal government. While details are still emerging, knowing that these steps could be required helps families prepare mentally and logistically. It's also worth noting that states will continue to issue birth certificates for children born in hospitals, regardless of immigration status. This means that local documentation is still available, but federal recognition for citizenship may involve additional steps if the policy changes. Another consequence that experts are discussing is the impact on access to benefits and education. Citizenship determines eligibility for federal programs like Social Security, public health insurance, and later in life, federal college aid. Families should consider how potential changes could affect long-term planning and start gathering necessary documents now. At this point, you might be asking, what is the timeline? The government has not provided exact dates. Legislative proposals and court challenges could take months or even years. However, early preparation is critical. Families should treat this as a long-term planning issue, not just a news headline. We also need to address common myths. Some claims suggest that children already born could retroactively lose citizenship. This is false. Citizenship is permanent once legally recognized. Other rumors say that parents must leave the U.S. to avoid legal consequences if the child's birthright is questioned. This is also incorrect. No such enforcement action has been announced. Understanding the difference between speculation and official policy is essential. Finally, here's a step-by-step plan for families. Keep all birth records secure, monitor updates from USCIS and the Department of Homeland Security, consult an immigration attorney if you have questions, ensure your child's Social Security and passport applications are submitted properly, and maintain organized documentation for future needs. These steps will protect your family regardless of policy changes. To summarize, this week's breaking news on birthright citizenship highlights potential future changes, but it does not affect children already born. Families planning births in the U.S. should stay informed, consult professionals, and keep all documentation current. By being proactive, you can safeguard your child's future, avoid surprises, and ensure that you understand your rights under U.S. law. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Legal Focus USA. By subscribing, you'll get timely updates on U.S. immigration law, practical advice for families, and guidance you can trust. Thank you for watching, and we will continue to bring you the most accurate and actionable immigration news.